Hello everyone, I'm going to show you how to set up your Arris router. And before I start, I want to remind you that if my video will help you, please support my work. Half of all donations I send to animal shelters. All details are in the description down below. So the first thing that you will need to do is to turn on your router. Take the power adapter. Plug one end of the power adapter into an outlet and the other into the router. When the router is turned on, the power indicator will be lit. It may take a few minutes for it to completely turn on. Next, plug the cable from your internet service provider or from your modem into a special internet port. Now you need to restore the router to its factory settings. Hold down the reset button on the router for 10 seconds. Wait until the indicator lights on the router start flashing. Sometimes this button is located inside the router casing to avoid accidental pressing. In this case, use a thin object to press on it. The router will restart, and the settings will go back to their original factory defaults. Plug one end of the Ethernet cable provided with the router into one of the LAN ports. And plug the other end of the cable into your computer's Ethernet port. Wait a few minutes for connection. Great, we've connected the router to your computer. Now you will need to set it up. But first, let me show you another way to connect the router if you do not have an Ethernet cable or your computer does not have an Ethernet port. Connect the router to the power adapter and cable from your internet provider. This will enable Wi-Fi. If your router is new and hasn't been set up, your Wi-Fi network will be named after the router. Your router has a unique Wi-Fi network name and password printed on a sticker. Connect to it. Great, you've connected to the router. Now let's start setting it up. First, open your web browser and visit the URL you see on the screen. Use the URL bar instead of the search bar. At the beginning, you will see a form with a login and password. Usually, it is admin and password. If these credentials are wrong, then find label on your router. The credentials are often printed on the bottom of the device. If none of this works, it means that your router has already been configured and someone has changed the login and password. If you can't find out the login credentials, just reset the router to factory settings. And then log into the router's personal cabinet using the standard credentials. If your router settings do not look like mine, it means that your router has a different firmware. I made a video for every firmware type. You can find all the links in the description down below. I want to warn you right away that there are many firmware versions and they may differ slightly. But don't worry, you will succeed. Just watch the video and follow the instructions. So, first you need to launch the Quick Start Wizard. To do this, click this button. This wizard will help you customize common Wi-Fi settings. This wizard's customization options are enough for most people and most homes. But if you have specialized network needs, you can further configure and customize your router after completing the wizard. Click the next button. At this stage, you can customize the Wi-Fi network's name and the passphrase used to connect to the network. The name must be between 1 and 32 alphanumeric characters long. If using automatic band steering, This name will apply to both radios. The passphrase must contain between 8 and 64 characters. Click the Next button. If your router has two Wi-Fi radios, then after the setup you will have two networks with similar names. The 5 GHz Wi-Fi radio offers the best performance. Click the Next button. Click the Next button again. On the next page, you can change the default login credentials for the router's admin panel. If you want to change the username, check this box. Enter the new username in this field and confirm it in this field. The same applies to the password. If you want to change it, check this box and enter your new password in these two fields. Then click the Next button. On this page, you can review all the Wi-Fi settings. If everything is correct, click the Apply button. Your settings are being saved. It may take up to 1 minute to write the settings. Please do not turn off your router or close this window. Done. The connection settings for your Wi-Fi network can now be used to configure your devices. Now is a good time to write down, print, or copy the settings into a document. Then, keep them in a safe place. Click the Exit button. If you were connected to the router via Wi-Fi, reconnect to the network using the new settings. Now check if the internet is working. Just try Googling something. If the internet still doesn't work, try restarting the router. To do this, unplug the router from the power outlet, wait 10 seconds, and then plug it back in. Wait a couple of minutes for the router to fully start, and then try Googling something again. If the internet still doesn't work, at this point you need to call your internet provider. They will tell you exactly what type of connection you need and what additional parameters to set. For those who now have internet access, I will now show you how to set up a guest network. To do this, click on this menu item. To enable the guest network, select Enabled here. In this field, you can change the guest network name. Then, to set a password for the network, select this menu item and enter the guest network password in this field. Save the settings by clicking the Apply button. Do the same for the 5 GHz network. That's all. If my video was useful, please support my work. I send half of all donations to animal shelters. All the details are in the description below.